Kaiser's Benny, give me what society looks like as it careens towards collapse and civil war, Alex, for 500,000. Actually, not just 500,000. $523,581. The give, send, go for Karmelo Anthony. What did Karmelo Anthony do to deserve this large sum of money? I mean, you're talking $500,000 here. Well, he murdered a white kid. The end. That's it. Did the white kid deserve it? No. It didn't matter if the white kid was attacking it. Nobody deserves to be murdered. I mean, I guess you could argue self-defense if he was literally being attacked, but no. Austin Metcalf, the white kid, just asked him to move. Karmelo Anthony's family now lives in a brand new home, $900,000 home in a gated community, new cars, getting Uber Eats. Karmelo Anthony was released from jail by his DEI judge and is now playing video games and eating Uber Eats deep dish pizzas in the very expensive neighborhood with the neighborhood pool. Would you look at that? Wow. Giant, some cabanas there, a water slide. This is the fate for Karmelo Anthony for killing a white kid in cold blood who was unarmed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure we should even be putting these two stories together, but because the internet tends to do these kind of things, let me give you Shiloh Hendrix. Now, Shiloh Hendrix went viral this past week for using a naughty word. Now, as I have said, and I will continue to say, there are words we don't use in this programming. We try to do family-friendly programming. There's no such thing as an illegal word. There's no such thing as a word that only one type of people can use. There's no such thing as a word that you can use because you're tall or short, or because you came from somewhere. There are words that might offend you. There are things we choose not to say on this program. There's no such thing as an illegal word. The end. That's called free speech. And you're free to be offended, right? Okay. Well, Shiloh Hendrix decided to use a word that the internet tried to cancel and kill her over. Shiloh Hendrix is somebody who now faces, mob violence over the words she used that might have hurt people's feelings. You know what really hurts? Murder. Like the stealing of someone's son forever. That's what actually hurts. Words don't hurt. This kind of stuff doesn't actually, no one can actually prove harm. But nonetheless, Shiloh Hendrix has raised $674,000 on our way to $1 million. My goodness. This is the give, send, go. My name is Shiloh. I've been put in a very dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at the park. Another man who recently found out he had a history with law enforcement proceeded to record me, follow me, and then he posted videos online. Great turmoil. My social security number leaked, my address, phone number, given out freely, and my family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not be going back to school. I would like to live in peace, she says. I'm asking for help to assist in protecting my family and to relocate. We've been threatened by extreme people. Anything will help. Don't live in fear. Ladies and gentlemen, the photos of the fundraiser have gone thermonuclear viral, 27 million views on this post alone. And people are donating. Matt Walsh has gone viral for saying that he hopes that she raises her $1 million. And here's Matt Walsh's take on this. Here we go.
Is, in the end, a net positive that this woman has raised $500,000. I'm glad she has. I hope she raises $1 million. I will not be joining with some of my conservative friends in wagging my finger at her donors, and I'll explain why. First of all, she does have a legitimate need for the money. The mob is truly trying to get her killed. I don't believe that a woman should have her life threatened for saying a word, even a bad one. And you could say freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences for your speech, all you want. But if losing your livelihood and having your house burned down is a consequence of your speech, then you do not have free speech. Supporting free speech means supporting someone's ability to speak without having their family murdered for it. Okay? I mean, that should be pretty obvious. Second, more importantly, and This is the part that I really need everyone to stop and think about. This is the most devastating attack on cancel culture that we have seen, possibly ever. Shiloh Hendrix has, without really trying, effectively ended cancel culture. As Mark Dice said in his video about the incident, Shiloh is the final boss of cancel culture, or maybe rather the final boss that cancel culture has to fight. And I think that's right.
What do you think about that with Matt Walsh? And I myself have been guilty of saying, and I mean, it's just true, right? There are things you say that can get you canceled. There's things that you say that are naughty words. It's not just the N word. There's a lot of naughty words. We try our best, to not use those words for obvious reasons. But this is like zooming out from the business that we do here, right? Zooming out into society as a whole. Matt's right. There is no such thing as illegal words. And if you're going to be offended, be offended. If you choose not to use something, or if you choose to use something, that's on you. But the cancellation culture here, and more importantly, the culture of I'll kill you if you say the wrong word, is insane. And if you lay it down like that and you say that's what we're fighting, then clearly that is a battle that is worth winning, because there is no such thing as protected words. This is, if anything, at its core, this is about free speech. And this is about the ability to speak freely as human beings living in a society protected by free speech. And that goes to everything from the bill they were trying to pass here in the House of Representatives to make saying something anti-Semitic illegal. That's clearly on prima facie opposite to what this country stands for. The freedom to offend everyone and anyone with your beliefs is tantamount to freedom of thought, actually. Because you should be able to think freely, you should be able to speak freely, regardless of what happens to be going on inside of somebody else's brain. If they're offended, be offended. That's an actual true society, right? I don't agree with what you say, but I'll die for your right to say it. As the old adage that is ascribed to Patrick Henry, I believe, founding fathers, Revolutionary War era. And so that tracks. That tracks. If this is about people have the freedom to speak without fear for their lives, and that there is no such thing as protected classes and protected people with protected words, that's insane on its face, then okay, got it, locked in. But there are protected classes, aren't there? Isn't it amazing the way that Karmelo Anthony's family is behaving right now? And the two are sort of linked because they've just hit a flashpoint, the exact moment, right? And Karmelo Anthony has been in the news cycle because of the actions of the father of Austin Metcalf. I'm trying to rub salt in the wound, but, well, memes like this are going thermonuclear viral. Son is killed, forgives killer, kicked out of killer's press conference, swatted. Son is robbed, collects, well, now $600,000 on Give, Send, Go the next day. This is something that happened, actually. Dominique Alexander calls Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff, attending Karmelo Anthony's news conference, a disrespect in the dignity of his son. Do you understand that this is actually what's being fought over? Having a society that functions means all of us saying together, murder bad, regardless of the skin color. But this is them saying not only is murder good, but also due process bad. Disrespectful of the dignity of his son is what the defender of the killer Karmelo Anthony lawyer has to say. A guy by the name of Minister Dominique Alexander, who's representing Karmelo Anthony, says he kicked out Austin Metcalf's father a press conference because he didn't know if he was armed. Oh, the bloody effing irony here. He can't be here. So what we initiate is making sure that security was in the facility We don't know what he came here for. We didn't know if he came across or if he was just standing there. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if he started the press conference. He's going to, he's not accusing us of anything. We didn't know if he could have pulled out a gun. From the guy defending the kid who, for absolutely no reason, decided to rampage and stab and murder his son. See, this is what you get, right? Like when you have a society that is so off balance, that is so off kilter, that has ascribed victim status for no reason other than the total and complete societal projection of victimhood, not the facts, not anything moral, victimhood projection. This is the result that you get. So these two videos are going viral, Matt Walsh and this video. And so they are, just like the GoFundMe fundraiser, connected in that way. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Here's the explanation here from killer Karmelo Anthony's lawyer, Dominique Alexander.
He can't be here. And so what we initiated is making sure that we secured the facility. Let me make this very clear. The Anthony family didn't even know he was here. But how do we know what he came here for? He didn't come and asked or come to us and said. He just stood there. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if we started the press conference, and I'm not accusing him of anything. We didn't know if he was going to pull out a gun. We didn't know what we didn't.
There's no shame anymore in society. There's no shame for behavior. There's total and complete mental break. It's an absolute lack of complete lack of like continuity. It's called cognitive dissonance. And this is what insanity looks like. Cognitive dissonance is saying, I didn't know if Austin Metcalf's father was armed. Meanwhile, his son was killed by an armed kid who brought a knife to a track meet. And now we're going to lavish his family. We're going to reward his family for the murder. So it's really, like, frankly, not even in the same universe, the two things. They are connected because this is the way that the internet works and it's the way that society works, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. This is a rowdy one, but more importantly, I feel like there's something is being righted in society right now. I don't know if you feel that. I feel like there's almost like a haze that's been broken, right? Where now you can just call things what they are. You know, you can say the sun is hot, right? The sky is blue. The grass is green. And we need to live in a society of law and order and where realities that we can like all observable realities are good. And we should govern our society by those, because otherwise there's nothing else to really agree in or on or with. One man opinion. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.